Since the last provincial election in 2020, house prices have ballooned in BC. Here in the central Okanagan, in January 2021, the benchmark price for a single-family home was $750,000. That same home this August was worth $1 million, according to the Association of Interior Realtors. For renters, their monthly costs have climbed 65% in that time, with the average two-bedroom now going for roughly $2,500, according to rentals.ca.
Come on in. Thank you.
Christian Brandt has lived in Kelowna for 12 years and has seen his housing costs spike.
Within a year and a half, we more than doubled our cost of rent. For 6 years, we were sort of in this one place that we stayed in, and we were more or less protected from any other major increase of rent.
His family spends more than $3,000 a month on rent, limiting what he can save for a down payment. Many mortgage holders are facing similar costs, says this Kelowna realtor.
Typically, you're looking at mortgage payments and housing costs north of $3,000 a month. $3,000 to $5,000 is a very typical mark that a lot of people land.
Families in this segment make an income between $80,000 to $200,000 annually. And that's right in the range where Christian's family falls. But home ownership for them isn't an option.
As a household combined income, we're above $100,000. However, if you still look at, rental market, it's very, very likely you spend 30 to 40% of your income or from your salary that you make towards housing.
Christian's family already takes steps to reduce expenses. They don't own a car and get most places on transit, by bike or walking. But they're like 44% of Kelowna renters, whose housing costs add up to more than 30% of household income.
We've got 20% of our population in Kelowna that pays over 50% of their income towards their housing. Providing affordable housing for folks who have kind of middle income is a very important part of our community.
Ken Zeitner runs a nonprofit housing society and says governments have not done enough to keep up with demands.
It helps employers and our economy because those folks need a place to live and they need to be able to afford to live in our community. It has become recognized more and more by governments at all levels that we need housing for that moderate income segment of our population.
Housing is a big focus for the three main parties. The NDP is promising more construction and lower interest rates for first-time buyers. As government, they brought in a plan to turn vacant public land into rental buildings and mandated some municipalities to hit new housing targets. To take off some pressure, they also banned short-term rentals, an unpopular move with some. The BC Conservatives are promising to accelerate permits by cutting red tape and to introduce a housing rebate for rent or mortgage costs to lower provincial income taxes. The Greens have a multi-step plan to build in a rental subsidy based on income, build more co-ops, fund nonprofit rental housing, and tackle rising strata costs. Meanwhile, more rentals are going up in Kelowna, with hundreds of new units almost ready.
Where we sit right now, there are going to be 722 rental units come on the market within this next year. That's huge. We have a lot of rental units coming on the market in Kelowna, and it will have an impact in the market. And it will help soften and moderate some of the rental rates that we're seeing at the moment.
That includes 122 units his society is building here. For Christian and his family, these steps may not be enough.
Anything outside or a bigger portion of outside our market pricing or market housing, I think would be a step in the right direction.
With some help coming and more housing needed, these costs will remain top of mind far beyond October 19th. Zameer Karim, CBC News, Kelowna.